Auto Gnomes, roll out! Oh wait, this is a different thing. We are continuing along with the new races and have now arrived at possibly the worst race ever. Gnomes, created by Gnomes! Welcome to Pack Tactics, where I still haven't forgiven Glitter Gold for what he has done. Obviously they're constructs. You might ponder your orb and ask how this differs from Warforged. But those are partially living, while Auto Gnomes are totally, completely constructed. Them being constructs is quite interesting mechanically. I didn't want to go dig into all the stat blocks, and I doubt you guys would want those spoilers. But there are quite a few that don't work on constructs. And there are probably a few that only work on constructs. I will, however, quickly dive into spells because that is a little easier to filter for me. These spells have effects that only work on humanoids or beasts, so not on constructs. A little disclaimer for a few of them though. Finger of Death does do damage to a construct, but they cannot be turned into a zombie under the control of the caster. You can use Magic Jar and Soul Cage as a construct, but you cannot be targeted. There are also spells that don't work on constructs specifically, but I'll get into that a little later. Their size is small, which has a few upsides and downsides. To list some, you have disadvantage when using heavy weapons. Dimension Door and Thunderstep are a little annoying to use. You can ride medium mounts, and those cost a lot less money. You also have an easier time getting cover and can squeeze into a tiny space. So don't forget to ask your DM if a rat can comfortably go through areas. 30-foot speed. Next is Armored Casting. You are encased in thin metal or some other durable material. While you aren't wearing armor, your base armor class is 13 plus your dexterity modifier. This is basically mage armor or +1 studded leather. Once you optimize, light armor is not that big of a deal, and this is not really comparable to other tiers of armor. Until you can afford half-plate, it may be worth it not to wear any armor instead. Do keep in mind that you can use a shield with armored casting as per the Sage Advice Compendium. Shields are grouped with armor in the equipment rules in the player handbook, but various game features distinguish between the armor you wear and a shield you wield. It also says a bit more stuff if you check it out. I'll link it in the comments. Ad time! No, no. Go away!
Hey, what about my world?
What about my video? You're from some kid's game.
That is not true. Hero Wars has vibrant graphics, cool gameplay, and a user-friendly interface.
I might as well try it then. I need a break.
Yeah, tell them more about it.
Alright, swap the thing. Shoot the arrows. Get the gold. But now you must die. This video is sponsored by Hero Wars, where you get to play as heroes on your phone! In Hero Wars, everyone can find a character to suit themselves. They have cyborgs, aliens, vampires, even furries won't be disappointed. I'm on my way to unlock Shubba. He's an awesome tank who literally devours his enemies. Nom 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 nom. Together with Celeste, who is a DPS healer character, I'll get past those elemental noobs in no time. Look, they have skins. There's fun customization stuff. There's no equal to Hero Wars. You can play it anywhere you want, even while playing D&D. Ah, you're waiting your turn on D&D anyway, so you might as well play on your phone. It's very easy to start playing, but optimizing a perfect team will be hard. For example, pairing two specific characters together grants a special bonus. The game has 6 unique modes, more than 300 Guild Wars servers, and 100 million players, so you can play alone or with your friends. Yippee! Question for you, where can you get 30,000 coins, 600 emeralds, and 5 awesome heroes to start dominating everything right away? The answer is in the link in the description below. What are you waiting for? I'm helping you optimize. Press the link, check it out. Back to the video. Next is Built for Success. You can add a d4 to one attack roll, ability check, or saving throw you make. And you can do this after seeing the d20 roll, but before the effects of the roll are resolved. You can use this trait a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus. You regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. This reminds me of Favored by the Gods from Divine Soul Sorcerer, but the uses are a bit changed up, allowing you to use it multiple times in one turn, and it's 1d4 instead of 2d4. This is good for saving throws for sure, but this kind of reminds me of Focused Aim from Monk, an optional class feature from Tashes, which also allows you to add to your attack rolls to make slight misses hits. This is kind of the basis of Gunk, which I talked about when I was covering GIF. So that again made me wonder, what does more damage? Built for Success used on missed attacks, or Astral Spark? The actual math requires too much work like Gunk, so I'm just going to do some napkin mathematics. So take this with a grain of salt. For the math, I assume a subclassless ranger autognome, just taking the attack action. They start with +3 dexterity, pick up sharpshooter at level 4, crossbow expert at level 8, and improved dexterity at the remaining levels. They use a light crossbow until they get extra attack, after which they use a short bow until level 8, where they start using a hand crossbow. And then as a baseline, I assume that over a day, you get to successfully use Built for Success for half of its uses rounded down to turn misses into hits. So at level 1, you get to make 1 miss hit, which is 2 divided by 2. This might be a bit more or bit less, but I believe it is enough for a comparison. So here we go. This is of course only Astral Spark versus Built for Success, and it doesn't take into account guns, as accounting for guns in this setting is a bit iffy. Nonetheless, I think it is interesting to see how powerful making misses into hits can be. Next is Healing Machine. If the Mending spell is cast on you, you can spend a hit die, roll it, and regain a number of hit points equal to the roll plus your constitution modifier. Minimum of 1 hit point. In addition, your creator designed you to benefit from several spells that preserve life, but that normally don't affect constructs. Cure Wounds, Healing Word, Mass Cure Wounds, Mass Healing Word, and Spare the Dying. Like I said, there are very few spells and effects that don't work on constructs, but Healing Machine changes this a bit. In the red, you can see the spells that would usually not work, but do now work due to this feature. So you do miss out on a few spells still, but I believe overall it is a net gain to be a construct with this feature. The mending part is basically exactly like how it works in a short rest, but you can do it outside of a short rest. Mending takes a minute to cast, so it's pretty easy to just cast it anytime you want outside of combat. Mechanical nature. You have resistance to poison damage and immunity to disease, and you have advantage on saving throws against being paralyzed or poisoned. You don't need to eat, drink, or breathe. Poisons come up quite often in Tier 1 and Tier 2, so the defenses this gives you against them is quite useful. Getting paralyzed is rare, but it's incredibly deadly, so it's awesome. Then lastly, you are a construct. You don't need to eat, drink, or breathe. The first two parts are kind of just fluff, but needing to breathe can come up when you are in space. Sentry's Rest allows you to be conscious for 6 hours instead of needing to sleep. You just have to be inactive. This is basically the same thing as Warforged gets. Unlike elves, you still get to rest cast. I imagine being conscious without the ability to be active allows you to at least have your passive perception working. But I'm not sure about that. Either way, most parties have enough people to have everyone stand watch without losing out on that long rest, you know? Last is Specialized Design, which gives you 2 tool proficiencies. Without the optional rules from Xanathars, they aren't very useful. But if you play those rules, they can be pretty cool. Tabletop Builds made an article about them, which I'll link in the comments. Mechanically, this race is okay, but it's the worst race in this book. If you see an Autognome, you need to recycle it. Put it in the trash can. It's so typical of gnomes. They're literally polluting space with actual trash. Like, seriously, think about it. And here's the crazy thing. Nobody cares, which I find so weird. Anyways, whatever. End of video. Play Hero Wars today! Download the link in the description and in the comments! Thanks again to Hero Wars for sponsoring this video, and thank you guys for watching! I hope I earned your subscription! Bye bye!